Hey everybody, Dr. Nelson here. This is a video lesson about percentages. To be more specific, about increasing and decreasing percentages. So the point of this video is to give you a little jump start on section 4.6. Alright, so first of all, percents are everywhere, right? Percents are used for sales when you go shopping. They're used in sports, and they're certainly used in grades, right? To get an A+, normally you need to have like an average, right, of 98% or higher to get an A+. So what does percent mean? All right, anytime you see a percent sign, what that really means is per 100. All right, so in fact, the percent sign, notice there's a 1 and there's 2 zeros, right? And look at the number 100. There's a 1 and 2 zeros. And what you probably know by now, right, is 100% means the entire amount. So if you had a whole pizza, that's 100% of the pizza. Okay, 50% is half the entire amount. 25% is 1/4 the entire amount, and so on. Right? But what I want to show you today, which you'll use this everywhere, is something called the 10% rule. Okay, there's a rule that you can do to get 10% of any number. So here it is. All right, to find 10% of a number, you move the decimal place one spot to the left. All right, so let me show you an example. Let's say if we have the number, say, I don't know, 120. All right, well, the decimal really is at the end. I'm going to write 0.0. Okay, now to get 10% of a number, what that really means is we want 1/10 of it, right? So to get 1/10, I need to divide by 10. And when you move the decimal over one spot to the left, you're actually dividing the number by 10. So that means 10% of 120 would be 12. And there it is. So that's really how simple it is. Just take the decimal, move it one spot to the left, and the new number is 10% of the original. So something like this. What is 10% of 30? Right? Well, the decimal's here. I'm going to move it over, and I get 3. All right, so 10% of 30 is 3. Now, what's nice about this rule is you can use it, okay, to get other percentages. So, for example, what is 20% of 45? Well, again, let's see, 10% is going to be, here's decimal, move it over, 4.5. And I know 20% is 2 10%, right? So if I add 4.5 and 4.5, that'll give me 9. And 9 is going to equal 20%. Just like that. All right. Here's one more problem. It says, the cost of a video game increased by 40%. Determine the new cost of the game if it originally sold for $20. All right. So we know that 100% of the cost is $20, right? But now it's being marked up, or it's increasing by 40%, right? So to get 40%, we first have to do the 10% rule. So 10% of 20 is 2, right? And I know that 40% is 4 of those, right? So I'm going to multiply by 4 and multiply by 4. So that means 40% is going to equal 4 times 2, which is 8. So $8 is 40%. So finally, to get the new cost, right, it's going to be $20 plus this 40%, which is $8, to get a total of $28. And there you go.